Hello everybody, Jacob Sheets here, Realtor with eXp Realty and Provision Properties, and just got done closing with Jessica and Jason on your new home. Congrats.
Thank you
very much.
And just wanted to kind of share a little bit of the story, so give them the opportunity to say not just what it was like working with us, but also just what you're excited for, what next steps are and everything. So I guess we'll start with, how did you guys first get to know myself and the team at Provision Properties, and go from there.
Yeah, so I was, actually Jacob was one of our Sunday school students a really long time ago.
A few years ago.
Back in the day. And after seeing all of his posts on Facebook, I'm like, he's doing some really cool stuff. So reached out to Jacob when we knew we were moving a little further southeast in the state, and we're really excited when Jacob hooked us up with John, and it's been a great experience.
So you're moving from where to where?
We were in the Fond du Lac area, and we're moving to Caledonia.
Mm-hmm. And then that first step, well, I guess before we get into that, what caused the move for you, and what are you excited for then in the next stage of life here?
So I was hired on at a different church, and we are excited just to see what God's up to, I think, because this has been quite the experience.
Yeah, and we'll get into the transition, but the speed that you guys had to go at. So our market right now is very competitive, and it's been competitive for about 4 years, and almost all of southeastern Wisconsin, right? But being able to have the speed that you had, in addition to being competitive and having low inventory and all that other good stuff, is a very unique cocktail of emotions for you. But I'll let you share that. I guess the first thing would be that first step. What was it that you reached out to me? Was it just a random phone call, a text, a response to a Facebook message, something like that? What was the first thing that you bridged into that? And then what was your timeline after that you expressed to us that you needed to get from Fond du Lac over down to here?
Yeah, so I think we had just emailed you. I can't remember, honestly, how we first reached out, but I remember you saying we have 3 weeks to get under contract. And it was like,
your timeline.
Oh, yeah, and it was instant mass panic. Like, oh man, we gotta move.
We gotta move on this.
So there were a lot of trips down to Racine in a very short amount of time.
From Fond du Lac.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then that was the first touch point. And the reason why I said, hey, you got 3 weeks is because like we had a chat and it talked about what was your overall big picture goal of how long until you need to get into a new home.
Yes.
Right, and you guys didn't need to sell the home up in Fond du Lac, but we just needed to buy this one and go, okay, well, in order to get a potential 30-day-ish close, which is regular, you guys can close faster because you work with Ethan Brooks, our preferred lender. But being able to say, like, in order to get there, you need to get under contract in the next about 3 weeks or so. It's like that means that, like, you know, you had 3 weekends, you had 3 at times, like, so we gotta pound the pavement and get you in there ASAP to see what options you have. And then we ended up going in the MLS search and going saying, hey, back in the history of the areas that you want to be in and around the school districts you do want and you don't want, this is realistic in the last 12 months, what options you would have. And now, what do you have available? It's like, okay, 2 houses, right? And it's like,
much,
so that meant, our level of urgency in the next 2 weeks, if something that comes up, we need to act fast, go and get prepared with our lending, with our tools and resources, education, which then led us to getting into a buyer consultation, right? Where then we all popped in, all of us, and that is when then John came into the mix of things, and then go from there. So I guess the next question would be, what did you go through in the buyer consultation? What did that look like for you guys, and what did you learn in that? And then also bringing John into that mix.
So the buyer consultation was great in that there was just a lot of information on here's solid statistics, and it added a lot of reality to what we were looking at and trying to wrap our brains around it rather than feelings. It was very hard facts of, hey, this is what we can do, what we can't do, this is really what makes sense and what doesn't, and that part was super helpful.
And you guys laid it out very nicely too, to where it was concise and easy to understand. So
and it both brought statistics of what's going on in the market, but then it also, more importantly, in my opinion even, was what do you need to know from where you are right now, regardless if you're pre-approved, you're not pre-approved, whatever, to closing date, to right now, to right here, like what is every single step you need to know, and then, you know, being able to say, and about that condensed hour timeline, your story, get your information, what your goals are, what you're looking for in a home, and then also like the step-by-step play-by-play, and a really beautiful packet we've created over the last 6 years to be like every single detail you need to know. What are your expectations? What do we expect of you? What do you expect of us, so that we have good expectation relationship, all that good stuff, and then we hit the ground running.
Yes.
After that.
Right.
Did you have anything else, John, in that, like, as far as like the buyer consultation process and then like us getting started, what that looked like in forming the beginning of the relationship? I knew them for longer, but then like, you knew them and started going.
Yeah.
I guess the better question, more direct for you, would be like, what did you feel in that connection and you appreciate of having the buyer consultation with all of us together? And then what did it look like when you hit the ground running with them, actually being the boots on the ground, and
Sure.
where did you then fit into play for that?
Yeah, I think, sometimes you meet a lot of people in this industry, and you can tell pretty quickly when you meet really good people. And you can tell, you guys just have great hearts, great people to work with. And through the whole process, I appreciate how much you communicated. Right, you're on top of everything, and Jessica, you put so many miles on. It was so impressed. Yeah, and you did as much. You were driving 300 miles yourself.
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
But just super impressed with just how on top of you guys were on this. Appreciate it. It was fun to work with you guys,
Well,
and I
thank you,
couldn't be
Joe.
happy for you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Because you guys ended up seeing about how many homes? Going back?
I don't even know, we saw a lot of houses, but I think we put in 4 offers on 4 different
3 or
homes.
4, yeah.
I think, and then there was one house that had multiple offers, but it was just run.
It was a grind, but it was fun.
Yeah.
It was fun.
So then the way we had it set up now on our team too is after that consultation, we build a relationship, the connection, and then after that, having the agents on our team being able to then be like a concierge, right? Of like, oh, and you need a showing right away. Okay, cool. Where we have the scale and the ability to have that, but also have a group text so that all of us were at the same page. None of us were left out or anything like that. We knew what was going on, and then the agent that was on file being able to be connected with John and the team, where you can go and get into a property right away if needed, right? Which was needed very much. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. And then that brings us to about 4 or 5 offers ish, right? You got under contract, and then you had escrow going accepted offer to closing. So what did that look like for you guys? Everything's super smooth, no issues, right? Or was it you had to renegotiate some things? We had inspections, we had other things like that, appraisals, we had financing, whatever you'd want to share of from that point, and our transaction coordinator, right? From accepted offer to closing, what did that look like for you guys through the process?
There was a few things that had to be negotiated, but the reality is because of the communication that was taking place, it felt smooth. It wasn't scary, it wasn't a lot of anxiety, it wasn't anything
feel like
like
a lot
that.
of hiccups or bumps in the road.
Right, regardless of the negotiations that had to take place, it was comfortable. It wasn't, I never felt on pins and needles with it at all.
No.
And then enter, who you don't see on screen now, is Leah, our transaction coordinator. What was your interaction with her? What did that look like?
Same thing, just super communicative and very responsive. If you ask a question, you're going to get a response. And when you're making such an enormous purchase that is such a huge part of your life, I mean, your house is so much. Aside from the financial commitment, it's a lot about you and your family and all of those things.
Yeah.
And you want people who are going to communicate well with you and communicate often and be responsive. And Leah, everyone we interacted with everywhere on the team was just so incredibly responsive, and we really appreciated that a lot.
100%.
Yeah, she's kind of like our secret weapon.
Yes.
Set it up for closing, so that then allows John, right, to run all over the place and do all the physical stuff, and then Leah to, okay, an amendment, boom, it's already done. It's crazy.
And it was fast. It was very fast. So.
Really fast.
Yeah, so that's pretty much everything that gets us to the closing table. Everything else went pretty smooth. Excited about that. Any other final comments, both from you guys or from John, about the process and the transaction?
I think just a big thank you to everybody. I mean,
the whole team.
Yeah, and both of you. I mean, John, you were. Anytime I asked you anything, you were fast and you were on it, and you got us the showings and you wrote the offers, and oh my gosh, I cannot say how impressed we have been with the entire team. So thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Seriously, it means a lot.
Well, thank you both for being good clients. Good job. But then also being someone that you trusted us, right? You reached out and made the connection of not just the Jacob Sheets Sunday school kid, but Jacob and Provision Properties, our whole team, our brand, everything that we worked really hard to build over the past 6 years. It's so different. Everyone has their own style and the dynamic of who they work with in a real estate agent and what type of process is important to them. So we might not be the perfect fit for every single person, but for the people that like to see how we structured it so that we have a true team dynamic, right?
Mhm.
We have someone who can be in front, who can deliver the information and educate you from beginning to close, and then we have another person so that you don't miss anything is plugged in, so you're all the time going, and then also another person so that they don't miss anything falling through the cracks, and another admin behind that that's also able to help with the paperwork, back end stuff, and then we bring up to closing with our lender partners, with our title partners, with Nightberry Title. We have everything already together so that you can have a seamless experience. Some people prefer one person who does every single little logistic thing. We have created something really special over these past few years so that we can give that to our people. So glad you're able to be part of that. And John, any other final comments?
No, just congratulations, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate
It's
it.
been so fun.
Cool.
Yeah,
Congratulations
all right, too.
to you guys, and
Yeah,
excited
thank
for
you,
your next
Jacob.
chapter. If you guys are watching this and you're interested in working with us and our team, or at least just exploring about it in the next, let's say, year or two, you're looking at making a move, that is the ideal time to get connected, because then you can have the buyer or listing consultation, get educated, go from literally where you are right now, wherever amount of preparation you need, get us involved early, it's never too early, and then go from accepted offer to closing and make it a smooth process. So thank you guys for watching, congrats again, and
Thank you.
we'll see you guys soon. Oh, if you want to reach out and start that, how do you start the conversation, right? The next thing, you'll have our contact information either on the screen now or in the description below, where you can click through and directly book an appointment or buyer or listing consultation on one of our calendars, a team member calendar, something like that, or just reach out to us or our team admin with phone or email below. So thank you so much, and we'll see you soon. Woo.
Awesome.
Thank you guys.
Great job.
You're sweet.